why Poland is abandoning the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church in Poland is grappling with a significant decline in its following, as recent census data reveals a drop from 88% to 71% in Catholic affiliation between 2011 and 2021. The percentage of nuns nearly tripled from 2.4% to 6.9% in the same period, and the number of people refusing to answer questions about religion altogether surged from just 7% to 20%. This decline is particularly evident among younger Poles, with only 16% of those under 40 considering religion very important, compared to 40% of older individuals. The number of Poles attending Sunday Mass has also plummeted from 47% at the turn of the millennium to 28% today. This waning influence is exacerbated by the church's alignment with Poland's conservative law and justice party, particularly on divisive issues such as the near total abortion ban and anti LGBT stances. As the church faces a crisis of credibility and relevance, it confronts a younger generation increasingly disenchanted from its role in both spiritual and public spheres. So, this is when I was reading this article, I was thinking about how one of the greatest tools to push people into abandoning religion is theocracy. And I'm not saying that Poland is a theocracy, let me be clear. But what we do see is a very strong influence of the Catholic Church into like basically all aspects of public life. Very strong influence on the right-wing parties in Poland that have pushed forward a lot of legislation that is very damaging to the individual liberties of its citizens, pushing forward a lot of homophobia, very explicit, really dangerous homophobia. And um, it reminded me of the reaction of Iranians to the Islamic Republic. It's like when the citizens are just constantly confronted by the tyranny of religious beliefs being pushed upon them. It's literally you just see people leaving in mass within a single generation. Yeah, exactly. So Yusuf is saying sounds similar to Iran. That's what I'm saying. Um,
And Seed is also having a good point.
yeah, he's saying when religion is pushed, people lose interest. And one thing that I thought was really interesting about this article is that it talked about how Poland could be reaching, I can't remember the phrase that they used, but basically a generational breaking point. Because if such a high degree of my generation of Poles are leaving Catholicism, they're not going to there's going to be way less transference to the next generation. So there's going to be like basically a break in the transfer of faith, right? And that's going to very much shift Polish identity because people were talking about how Catholicism has played such an important role in Polish identity, especially in the post communist era.
Yes, yes. I've been to Poland. It's everywhere. It's in their radio. It's in their politics. It's in the streets. It's everywhere. It feels a little bit forced based on my very limited experience there. But yeah,
Well, I mean, it is. I mean, look at the laws that have come into effect. Like the abortion, the near total abortion ban that was pushed is extremely dangerous. Um, and also going to have long
look at
term
it.
generational consequences. Um, Yusuf is saying, could you guys also help out in getting Indonesian Muslims to not take their religion as seriously? I know this is something I think about a lot. The ex-Muslim movement has made a lot of progress, but the problem is that it's mostly focused on the MENA region, and there
Mm.
isn't a lot of focus on
If-
Indonesia and Malaysia, which is a huge missed opportunity because that's actually where like the most Muslims are in the world. Um,
well, it's fair to say Indonesia. Yeah, Indonesia is the largest Islamic country in the world, and it's completely ignored. Not just by By Muslim, I've been to a care conference, one time, and there was an Indonesian imam who was complaining to me about Muslims as well. Like, Muslims don't take Middle East, like Muslims in the West don't really take Indonesian and Malaysian Muslims seriously as well.
Well, it's not even
It's
in the
not,
West, it's in the Muslim world
Middle East.
as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was looking on Reddit to try to find this video, about this, because you wanted me to find this video that I sent you previously of this Saudi guy basically, saying some, uh, pretty bad things about Palestinians and how they're not Arabs, and I found this video, I was able to find a different version or track it down and find it in this Reddit, and it was a Reddit for Malaysians, and the comments in the Reddit were all basically like, "Wait until you guys realize how they feel about us."
Mm. Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.